Maybe.
We've had him under.
We can make millions. Awesome. I don't want to live like this. I don't want to live like this. I'm not going to live like this anymore. I'm not going to live like this anymore. Recently, let me complain some more. Yeah, recently, I've had people poisoning me and, snake up a conduit up through the wall and, jet it in. Powdered drugs. I know they've used statins on me in the past. Statins, they break up fatty acid chains. They tear apart saturated fats, which is, your nervous system is composed of saturated fat in a form. Causes nerve damage. Statins are for eugenics. Statins are to kill old people off faster and degrade their ability to cognate, and thereby they make additional bad choices, and more of their money leaves their bank account. Cycle through the generations faster. Program the next generation. They're infused with more money, and they can spend it faster. Drives progress along. You look at the saltless diets of the 1980s. There was another thing. That's just destroys people's ability to focus. Salt is very, very important for health, obviously. But I don't know what they've done. It really hurts. Really hurts. I feel really hollowed out, and I've got this terrible headache that's been just like descending through my brain, just kind of tearing me apart. I hunt for the right word, I can't find it. My brain's got to take some roundabout route to find it, Longer processing times, essentially. So Lizard and G-Frost. Those are the names of the license plates. I remember what the CIA handlers told me about Lizard, about the guy who had the Lizard vanity plate. They said they programmed him to do that, to buy that plate, because they're trying to kill him off. You know, that was the idea. I guess his days are numbered. There's no kind of threat. I don't know what the. This is just what they told me. You know, maybe it's just get me to you know, implicate him in something he's not really involved in. But then he showed up. You know, there I've got footage of that, but it won't upload, of course. You know, a lot of creep shows. This other guy, I've got his license plate number. What is it? I think he was only what I remember from the prevision was he was only playing some kind of game with me, and maybe he was trying to warn me that I shouldn't park in that area because it's kind of isolated, and you know. He began picking the lock on the door of the vehicle. Then he ran off as I got out, you know, with a flashlight and a knife. And then he pretended to be walking along the path, just very leisurely, taking no notice, you know, other than to glance my way. So, I was beckoned into Seattle by a series of dreams, very vivid dreams of a future with Dania. And, you know, it's so compelling that, I mean, you can't pass it up. And it was like, they stole my keys. You know, they had me. I don't know. I don't know what they somehow programmed me to drop my keys someplace, like in a trash can or something. I don't know. They programmed me to drop my phone like multiple times in an hour. I picked it up like 3 times in an hour. Then it was just gone. I hate admitting these things. I hate. Oh God, this is so terrible, man. I was there, you know, searching frantically. I went through my truck, offloaded everything. Was looking around. I was starting to be very affected by it, you know, and I was supposed to catch the ferry from Bremerton to Seattle, you know, because Dania was evidently waiting, you know. And you looked at the astrology, you know, of the period and all this. It's like, well, it could be, could be, could be. So I was supposed to abandon my truck, have it impounded, and I could never pay those fees. And I was supposed to be homeless and on foot in Seattle. Without any knowing anybody there, or you know, without having any knowledge of the resources available to me. I did, you know, come to find out a few things. You know, I asked around, but that whole thing turned out to be totally rigged, and they just had some things lined up for me. And you know, it's there's gender conversion schemes that they run, and you know, a lot of money to be made there, and you know, all kinds of things. So they had you know, there's too many things, too many things. Then I was microwaved there, and then that sort of halfway house, the Mark Cooper house, it's called the Mark Cooper house. Nothing but a bunch of criminals, you know. Why did you know, I knew it was trouble, you know, right from the start. Bunch of criminals, people out on parole, different, you know, just They'll do all that stuff to you. They'll do all kinds of horrible. They stole all kinds of things from me, and you know, unbelievable. And the cop, the cops did not. They didn't even. I called them in. They're like, well, we don't even investigate this kind of thing. And are you, do you have somebody to talk to about your psychological, state of affairs? And the microwave emitter was in the mattress. They shut it off. A frequency coming out of the cops' radios. Shut it off. I don't know, but it wasn't. Yeah. I was out there freezing to death. I was at the dead of winter, and I was out there freezing to death. And they played that. They said, "Oh, we got some other place for you to stay." Turned out to be an extremely temporary thing, and they sent in people to do this little intimidation thing, as though things of mine would be stolen there. So I decided to. Didn't even have a sleeping bag or even a wool blanket. A wool blanket would have saved me a lot of trouble. Could have done the sheep herder's wrap. Could have managed. But I came close to freezing to death a couple of nights. I stole somebody's blanket. They weren't using it. They put an extra blanket. I stole it. Didn't have money to just go buy one, a wool blanket at a surplus store. Those damn space blankets, of course, don't work. You have to mop off the evaporated moisture. They do some heat reflection. They're useless. They're almost useless. There's newspaper. You can put newspaper under your clothes. I did remember that trick, and I did burn some newspaper, which warmed me up, and allowed me to keep going, start off again. Then I called my mother, and anyway, she came up and she picked me up. She came over, rather. She didn't go up anywhere. She just came over. We're on a flat earth plane. We're on a flat plane. That's what happened. And I'm back here. Yeah. Anyway, back here. I'm getting yeah. Yeah. Complain. Yep. Used to be made an example of. I did think that they had orchestrated this whole thing to do something. I don't know, to harm your family, Dania. This was orchestrated years and years and years in advance. Some kind of retaliation or something. I don't know. It crossed my mind. I'm one of these people who, I project onto others my own qualities, my own, values and all. It's just right, and I expect too much from people, really. I think, and I expect a degree of forbearance that is not present in most people, and it's foolish. I should know better. It's just really foolish. People will project their own qualities, whether if they're a wicked person, if they're if they're a good person, they just do that. And so that's this common failing, and I fell prey to it. I mean, then I've been under mind control, so yeah, it did occur to me that you want to harm me. That you want to harm me because you believe that I'm trying to harm you and your people. That this is what this is your position. This is the stance you've taken against me, perhaps. I'm not trying to do that. I'm not trying to hurt you. I'm not trying to harm you. You know, and again, I'm, you know, this weight of responsibility. Oh, I know I'm nobody. I'm not anything. I've got nothing. You know, I've abandoned all discipline and all kind. You know, oh, I'm just this fucking right. Like I haven't, you know, I've had, you know, quite a number of jobs over the past few years. I've been targeted at all but one of them. I was heavily targeted. At one of them, I was, you know, they targeted me a little bit. They horrible things have been done to me at these jobs. So you know, I thought, well, you know, let me try to make it on YouTube. You know, let me try to do that. Let me try to do this. Let me, you know, let me try to sell some things online, and you know, let me try to be an artist, and let me try to, you know, let me try to. Well, I'll keep writing. This will turn into something. Oh, and sure enough, you know, I have some written works about ready to go, about ready to be thrown up there on the market. Out of the right treatment, the right it's right advertising, the right editing. I don't know. But you know, it's very you know, this is real cutting edge stuff, and I have never seen its like. And you know, I've done some real serious investigation into some things that have, you know, that are going on. You know, my story is, I don't know, beyond compare. I don't know. It's just, yeah, I don't know. It's pretty wild, pretty entertaining, pretty alarming, pretty you know, and the implications of it are just absolutely horrifying. You know, it's just the old hat to me. You know, but at any rate, I'm gonna, you know, um, yeah, let me harass you some more. Let me harass and defame you some more, and all the rest of it. And yeah, I'm just asking. You know, maybe we could have a phone conversation. Maybe you could send me an email with like a proof of life. You know, you like a recent publication you're holding up. You know, I can see the date. It would help if you're like in some kind of semi-public place, so I could see that you're not, I don't know, captive or something. I don't know. Is that too much to ask? I mean, yep, yeah, you know, yeah. People can't see their way through it, and they can't even get this far. This is not even all that entertaining, and this is not even. Yeah, gotta try to save my own life. Got a few, and I gotta, yeah, yeah. I'm still in this situation. Still this situation. It's becoming and more clear what's going on. You know, it's becoming more and more clear. You know, I gotta, you know, gotta review my. I know what's going on. If we were to have a conversation, I would just, you know, treat it as a preliminary conversation. You know, just a, and we could talk again in another couple of days. You know, I'm not gonna read into anything or really think that, you know, something very nefarious. I'm not going to assume that something really nefarious is going on. I'm not going to. If, you know, I can take all this down. You know, it's not, you know, if I'm going to do anything in the realm of art, it's got to be something very polished up. You know, anything, any kind of business endeavor, anything commercial, you know, it's got to be very highly polished up. It's got to be presented the right way, you know, so that I can have some kind of impact out there. You know, I realize that. I've known that. I've known that for some time, but I've just been. They've had me reeling. They've had me, you know, and I've been, you know, just really compelled to you know, to at least, you know, report on what was happening, to give people some kind of understanding. But then because I thought that my life was really in danger, and I believe it is. I believe it is. And if they've just been doing this stuff, just to work on all these tactics that they plan to use on other people, and I was just determined to report up to the minute, to the final hour, that kind of thing, you know, so that others would maybe elude some of these traps. And I said I'm in a war. This is the state of affairs. You got people who are consumed with this idea, that everything's propaganda, and you can't. There's no such thing as a complex truth, and people cannot digest complex truth. And it's like, right, because psychedelic drugs are not legal, and that's the reason we have all this goddamn mind control, and that's the reason we're in this pitiable state of affairs technologically, and that's the reason why you want to kill most everybody. You're glad to hear about the Darwin Awards. Glad to keep up with all that. Just glad to keep up with all that. But see, I'm totally deranged, completely deranged at this point. Oh, you can heal your brain up, rebuild all these connections. Oh, yes, your bones can heal, restore, your telomeres can lengthen, all that shit. It's all possible. I know the methods. I don't know, what a joke, I could do such a much better job. I could do a whole lot better job